The Knicks have just provided key injury updates. We have updates about Karl-Anthony Towns and Deuce McBride. We also have an update about Precious Achiuwa, who was recently reevaluated, and we have the results of that reevaluation. All of this and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. The Knicks injury updates. Precious Achiuwa gets reevaluated. One thing I've been waiting for was when Achiuwa was going to get that reevaluation. Because for weeks now, he has been recovering from that left hamstring injury. We knew it was severe, but we honestly didn't know where he was in terms of his recovery. But now, thanks to NBA Insider with the New York Post, Steph Bondy, we finally have an update about Achiuwa and his results from his recent reevaluation. Let's take a look at those reports. Shout out to NBA Insider Steph Bondy for giving us the following information. According to him, Precious Achiuwa is nearing the 4-week mark of a hamstring strain that was originally announced as 2 to 4 weeks before a reevaluation was supposed to happen. But apparently, there have been daily reevaluations, and he has still not been cleared for practice. According to head coach Tom Thibodeau, he's reevaluated every day. So yes, he's been reevaluated. The depth of it, I'm not sure. I know they've increased his activity. I think that part is good. With the hamstring, though, we just want to make sure it's not a problem that will linger. Shout out to Steph Bondy for giving us this shocking update about Achiuwa and his reevaluation. Not only did we learn that Achiuwa has been reevaluated already, he has been reevaluated, it sounds like, multiple times. As Tom Thibodeau mentioned, he's been reevaluated every day. But the biggest concern there is, even though he's been reevaluated, he has still not been cleared for practice yet. And my biggest question is, why? What's going on with that hamstring? Is it worse than we really know? Is it more serious than they're really announcing at this point? That's something that we're going to have to wait on and see what the medical team actually announces in the next coming days. But honestly, if you listen to Tom Thibodeau and what he said, it sounds like they're taking their precautions with Precious Achiuwa and making sure that he's fully ready, fully healthy before he steps back on the court to do basketball-like activities. Because as Tom Thibodeau said, with hamstring injuries, they do not want those injuries to linger. Because if they do, he could be in the lineup, out of the lineup a number of times before he can have a consistent role and impact. And as we see with this current Knicks roster, we need more size. We need more depth at the 5 spot. And if we get Achiuwa back, at some points, if we want to play small, or if you want to play Towns at the 4 and sometimes put another big next to him, Achiuwa might fit the bill just because of the way he rebounds, defends, is able to block shots, and also able to score inside. His offensive game and how he's improving it, how he's getting better, it's only going to complement the Knicks and what we're trying to achieve this season. That's when he returns. But as we just heard, we don't know when that's going to be because each and every reevaluation he's had has still not cleared him for practice. Again, I am hoping it's all precautionary and they're making sure he's 100% ready before he comes back for the Knicks. Some other players we have to look at is Karl-Anthony Towns and Deuce McBride. As mentioned in a couple of other videos recently, Towns missed the last game due to a left knee contusion. And Deuce McBride, he missed the last game due to an illness. Tom Thibodeau gave us the recent update about both of those players. Shout out to Steph Bondy of the New York Post for giving us the following quote from Tom Thibodeau. According to Thibs, Karl-Anthony Towns went through shoot-around before the game on Friday night, and he went through his warm-up as well too. But then he just didn't feel comfortable enough to go. So hopefully tomorrow he'll get a day of rest and he'll be good to go against our next matchup with the Nets on Sunday night. Same thing with Deuce McBride. Based on his questionable tag for tomorrow's game and the fact that he was questionable before Friday's game and he went through all his warm-ups and all his pre-game preparations, I feel like Karl-Anthony Towns will be available for the Knicks on Sunday night against the Brooklyn Nets. Same thing for Deuce McBride. Both of those guys wanted to play on Friday, but they were ruled out late. This time around, I think they're going to show up, they're going to play, and they're going to help contribute to the Knicks dominating the Nets once again. And hopefully this time around, it's not a close game. Hopefully this time, if we build up a 22-point lead, not only do we keep that lead, but we continue to add on to it, grow it, and dominate the Nets further, because that's all I want to see. No more close games against the Nets or teams like that. We are a championship contender. The bad teams, we're supposed to destroy. The okay teams, we're supposed to make them look small. And the good teams, we're supposed to let them know we are a legit threat for the NBA Finals. The Knicks have to start doing that and handling business. And the way to do that is to make sure they don't play with their food. The Brooklyn Nets are food. They're not a team the Knicks should be worried about. So come Sunday night, they need to make sure they make another statement and put them down early so they don't have to worry about them again come the fourth quarter. But we also have another injury update, and that update is for missing Knicks center Mitchell Robinson. Shout out to Ian Bagley, who recently gave us the following update about Robinson in his latest edition of Ian Bagley's mailbag. The question he was asked by Mendoza Tweets was, any chance that Mitchell Robinson is ahead of schedule in his rehab? We need him desperately. What about the injury update for Kevin McCullar Jr.? That's the rookie that the Knicks drafted in the second round of this year's draft. Any timeline on his return? According to Ian Bagley, he answered that question with the following. The last time I checked, Robinson's rehab had been going well. The Knicks have projected his potential return date for December/January. They don't want to bring him back until he's fully healthy. So I don't think there is any rush to get him back sooner than the December/January window. In terms of Kevin McCullar Jr., Ian Bagley keeps it simple by stating, I don't have an update on him. So good news and bad news there with Robinson. The good news is his rehab continues to go well, and he's on track for returning in December or January. Bad news is nothing really changed. His time frame for returning to this team is still December or January. And folks, we got to remember, that is still an estimate. It's not a guarantee that he returns in January. Maybe if the rehab is going well, but the Knicks still want to hold him back just for precautionary reasons, maybe in the same way they're doing with Precious Achiuwa right now, maybe they do that and he doesn't return until February or March. We have to be prepared for that. Robinson is not the same elite defender that Rudy Gobert is, even though he's a very good defender. Also, his health. How long are we going to see that duo together before Robinson goes down with some type of injury or he's missing some type of games? We don't know. That's always been the biggest question mark with Robinson. That's why the Knicks are bringing him along so slowly and making sure his rehab goes well, because the next time he returns, the Knicks do not want to have him miss more games. They want to give him every chance possible to stay healthy and remain healthy. Only time will tell to see if this recovery approach actually makes a difference for Robinson. In my point of view, and I'm hoping and praying here, I hope it actually works, because if it does, it could pay dividends for the Knicks come the postseason. So hopefully we have them both available come that time. With Kevin McCullar Jr., again, rookie, likely not going to play a lot of time for Tom Thibodeau when this roster is fully healthy. But if you need help off the bench and you need a player to look to with some size, Kevin McCullar Jr. will absolutely give you that. And at the guard position, it's hard to find somebody else at that size who's another willing, great defender. He's basically a copy of Josh Hart off the bench. So Tom Thibodeau could definitely utilize him. The only issue is nobody can really give us any updates on this young man. Every single time we hear about that knee injury, it's either no update, no timetable for return, nothing at all. This knee injury has been plaguing him since we've drafted him, so it's nothing new. The only issue is we don't have a new update on it, and that's what we're waiting for. That's what I've been waiting for. Hopefully, once we get that, we'll be able to understand where he is in his recovery and when he can come back for this team, when he can join the team, and maybe potentially, once we know he is returning to the roster, what his role is going to be for this team moving forward. Because again, at his size, Tom Thibodeau could use him, but him being a rookie, that puts a lot of things in doubt. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens there. But I am looking forward to Achiuwa coming back, him being added back to this team, and then at that point, seeing potentially what a double big lineup could look like. Because for weeks now, I have been begging Tom Thibodeau to let me see what it looks like to see another big alongside Karl-Anthony Towns. Because once I see it, once we see it, once Tom Thibodeau sees it, you won't be able to forget it. And once you can't forget it, you're going to request it each and every single time. Because I think, and I feel it in my bones, that type of combination will work. It'll work for this team, and it'll work for head coach Tom Thibodeau. But what about you guys? What do you think about the following injury updates about Precious Achiuwa and where he is in terms of his recovery? As we see here, he has been reevaluated every day, but unfortunately, he has still not been cleared for practice. Let me know how you feel about that update in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.